I'm Sophia. I'm 26 years old today, and I'm sitting here in the United States, and I'm creating a video about why your beliefs about revenge are wrong. It sounds counterintuitive, right? We're conditioned to think that settling the score will bring us peace. But in this video, we're going to dive deep into why that widely held belief is actually a myth, and how holding on to the desire for revenge can be incredibly detrimental to your own well-being. All right, let's get into the heart of it. We grow up bombarded with narratives where revenge is painted as heroic, a necessary step in achieving justice or regaining power. From classic literature to blockbuster movies, the protagonist often gets their triumphant moment of payback. Think of Kill Bill, The Count of Monte Cristo, or even countless superhero origin stories where personal vendettas fuel their entire mission. These stories are compelling because they tap into a very human desire. The desire for fairness, for consequence, for someone to acknowledge the pain they've caused. When we've been wronged, especially deeply, our primitive brain screams for equilibrium, for an evening of the scales. It's an innate response to injustice, and it feels incredibly powerful in the moment. We imagine the look on their face, the satisfaction of them getting what they deserve, and it's intoxicating. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The real world isn't a Hollywood script. The satisfaction from revenge, if it comes at all, is fleeting, and it often comes with a hefty price tag that you, the avenger, are usually the one paying. We mistakenly believe that inflicting pain on the person who hurt us will somehow erase our own pain. We think it will fill the void they left or mend the wound they inflicted, but it doesn't. Instead, it often deepens it. When you actively pursue revenge, you are essentially tethering yourself to that negative experience, to that person, and to that hurt. You're pouring your precious energy, your time, and your emotional resources into something that keeps you stuck in the past. It's like constantly picking at a wound, preventing it from ever truly healing. You're not moving forward. You're staying trapped in the moment of injury. Let's talk about the psychological cost. When you're consumed by thoughts of revenge, your mind is a battlefield. You're constantly replaying the offense, reliving the hurt, fantasizing about different scenarios of payback. This isn't just unpleasant, it's actively damaging to your mental health. Chronic anger, resentment, and bitterness become your constant companions. These emotions are corrosive. They eat away at your inner peace, your joy, and your ability to experience positive emotions. Studies have shown that people who harbor vengeful thoughts often report higher levels of anxiety, depression, and even physical ailments like high blood pressure. Your emotional state is dictated by the person who wronged you, even long after the initial incident. They still hold power over you because you're allowing their actions to define your emotional landscape. Think about it. When you're plotting revenge, are you truly present in your own life? Are you enjoying your relationships, pursuing your passions, or focusing on your future? Or are you constantly looking over your shoulder, fixated on another person's downfall? This obsession can hijack your life, diverting your attention and energy from what truly matters. It's a self-imposed prison, and the bars are built from your own unresolved anger. You might justify it by saying, they deserve it, but the question isn't about what they deserve, it's about what you deserve. And you deserve peace, not perpetual turmoil. Beyond the internal struggle, there's the social impact. When you act on vengeful impulses, you risk escalating the conflict. What starts as a desire for payback can quickly spiral into a destructive cycle, where both parties are locked in a continuous battle of retaliation. This isn't justice. It's a never-ending fight. Think about feuds between families, long-standing grudges between friends, or even international conflicts. Many of these are fueled by a relentless pursuit of getting even. When one party retaliates, the other feels justified in their own counter-retaliation, and so on. There's no winner, only a perpetuation of suffering. You might alienate people who care about you because your anger becomes overwhelming. Your relationships can suffer because your focus is so heavily directed outwards, on what was done to you, rather than inwards, on how to heal and move on. People naturally gravitate towards positive energy, and when you're radiating bitterness, it can push others away. Then there's the question of effectiveness. Does revenge actually achieve what we hope it will? Often, it doesn't. You might hurt the other person, but does it truly teach them a lesson? Does it make them regret their actions? Sometimes, it just solidifies their own resentment and justifies their initial actions in their mind. They might see your act of revenge as further proof of your own malice, rather than a just consequence of their behavior. It rarely brings about genuine remorse or understanding. Instead, it often entrenches both parties in a cycle of blame and anger, leaving everyone feeling worse off than before. And even if you succeed in inflicting some harm, the feeling of triumph is often hollow. The anticipated relief rarely materializes. Instead, it's often replaced by emptiness, guilt, or even a deeper sense of sadness, because you've lowered yourself to their level. You've allowed their negative actions to dictate your own. So, what's the alternative? If revenge isn't the answer, what is? The true path to healing and moving forward isn't about hurting the other person, it's about reclaiming your own power. It's about choosing to break free from the emotional chains that bind you to the past. This often involves several key steps. First, acknowledging your pain. Don't suppress it. It's okay to be angry, to be hurt, to feel betrayed. These are valid emotions. Give yourself permission to feel them without judgment. Journaling, talking to a trusted friend or therapist, or engaging in healthy emotional release can be incredibly beneficial. Understanding why you feel the way you do is the first step towards processing it. Second, shifting your focus from them to yourself. Instead of obsessing over what they did and how to make them pay, turn your attention inwards. What do you need to heal? What steps can you take to move forward? This might involve setting boundaries, practicing self-care, or investing in activities that bring you joy and purpose. This isn't about forgiveness for their sake, but for your sake. It's about releasing the burden so you can live your life, unencumbered by their actions. Third, practicing empathy, not for them necessarily, but for the situation. This doesn't mean condoning their behavior, but understanding that people often act from their own pain, ignorance, or flawed perspectives. It's about recognizing that holding on to anger is often a heavier burden for you than it is for the person you resent. This shift in perspective can help you detach emotionally from the need for external validation or punishment. Fourth, seeking constructive solutions. If there's a way to achieve justice through healthy, legal, or therapeutic means, explore those options. This could involve mediation, legal action, or simply having a difficult but constructive conversation, if safe and appropriate. The goal here is resolution and moving forward, not punishment for punishment's sake. This is about restoring balance in a way that doesn't further damage your own well-being. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, choosing forgiveness. Now, I know what you're thinking. Forgiveness? After what they did? And let me be clear. Forgiveness is not about condoning their actions. It's not about forgetting what happened. It's not about letting them off the hook. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's the conscious decision to release the bitterness, the resentment, and the desire for revenge, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. It's about letting go of the expectation that the past can be changed, and instead, choosing to accept what happened and move forward with your life. It's about severing the emotional tie that binds you to that negative experience. It allows you to reclaim your emotional freedom and redirect your energy towards building a positive future. When you forgive, you're not excusing their behavior. You're simply refusing to let their behavior continue to control your happiness. Think of it this way. Holding on to revenge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It only harms you. Choosing to let go, choosing to heal, Choosing forgiveness, that's where true strength lies. That's where you reclaim your power and build a future free from the shadow of past hurts. It's a journey, not a destination. And there will be ups and downs. But every step you take towards letting go is a step towards a freer, more peaceful, and ultimately happier you. Want more real talk about life's toughest moments? Tap here to subscribe and join our community. We're exploring revenge stories and so much more every week.